Okay, I said I'd be back because I really want to share this, although it's a little awkward environment. But I was here a little bit earlier. So although I although I agreed to meet for a second meeting, to be honest, I didn't really want to like you. And that attitude comes from our first meeting. I mean, your image was just so perfect. Like you checked all the boxes beyond reproach, and you covered reverence for nature. You had the perfect social media um, personality, mindful hospitality, 100% no waste, collective responsibility journey, biophilic architecture, inspired by Colorado's quaking aspen, Populus tremuloides, to be exact. The quaking aspen, the very name of this place, even had to be super deeply meaningful. And when we first met, I felt like the concept was just trying too hard. It almost replaced genuine, heartfelt hospitality. And frankly, that bothered me. But as I mentioned in today's earlier video, sometimes a second chance makes all the difference. And when we met today, sorry, this light is terrible. I have to like lean all the way in. When we met today, so many things were right that I'm not sure I can even recount them all. I mean, downtown Denver construction is absolutely horrid. So the affordable valet parking was a welcome treat for me, especially with a confused Colorado spring sky that was slamming down spring sleet that alternated with hail. And then 2 minutes later, it was snow. And the front door was opened for me as I exited my car. And the first thing I noticed when I entered was this lovely, comforting, subtle smell of wood. It was definitely not pine, which I'm very familiar with, of course. I believe it was acacia, if I heard correctly, if I remember correctly, combined with the reishi mushroom forest that literally hangs from the ceiling above the bar. Okay, so you walk in, and then right to the right, Little Owl has found a home in the lobby. Not a literal owl, but Little Owl Coffee has found a home in the lobby, and they offer excellent coffee. At least my Breve Cortado was absolutely perfect. And I kind of turned around in a slow circle as I waited for my order. And I couldn't help approaching the reception desk to inquire as to whether they were pumping this lovely scent into the lobby that I was so taken by. So my conversation with the front desk personnel was interrupted by George Prime, the GM, who is also part of the Aparium Hotel Group. And he assured me that the scent was absolutely not piped in, but came from the abundance of natural wood throughout the hotel. He then took the time to share the mission of the hotel. This hotel was founded, you can read all about this in much more detail on their website, of course, but it was founded from a true, legitimate reverence for nature. And they began with the question, what would it look like to bring nature back into our cities? And this group is a community of environmentalists and entrepreneurs imagining a hotel inspired by nature. And I thought it could, oh my God, is it going to turn into like the rainforest concept from when was that, like the early 90s or something? But from biophilic architecture, natural materials, original art, and seasonal cuisine, a love for the natural world totally shows up in every single detail of this place. He explained that a deep reverence and love for nature is central to every single decision they make. They use sustainable materials during construction. source food from regenerative farms. I had a burger from, I think it was Bar D, someplace in Strasbourg that is all grass fed, pasture raised meat. And so those regenerative farms and ranches, as well as using this on-site biodigester that composts 100% of food waste. He then handed me this key. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, can you see that? He handed me this key. This little pouch is a paper with wildflower seeds in it. So you can literally soak it and then plant it. And in 3 weeks, the seeds will germinate and you can have your own little field of wildflowers. And for every guest that stays, they plant one tree. Here you go. Populous. One night, one tree. And that's how they remember you, or they memorialized your stay with a tree, which is pretty lovely, actually. Needless to say, this brief meeting set the stage, the entire stage for my second visit, the remainder of which included an entire forest of hospitality delight. One of the most important and impactful things that I noticed was that the staff had this certain poise about them. They didn't come off at all pretentious or snobby, which that was really what my experience was the first time. And now I simply attribute that, I attribute that to the fact that they had just opened and they were probably really close to their initial training. But they were so professional. They come off exceptionally professional, and they carry themselves with a certain pride, which they have earned. I mean, this hotel is remarkable, truly. And yet they were very friendly and very cheerful. And this joyous disposition was evident in their camaraderie with each other. I think I just cut out. So I'm going to say that again. Their joyous disposition was evident in their camaraderie with each other, which of course I inquired about. The hosts, bartenders, wait staff, and valet all shared how important their team was to them, that they loved sharing family meal. And the fact that many of them started out in the hotel when it was new bonded them. And now their careers were growing with the hotel. I asked each one of them independently and privately how they would define hospitality. And I asked them what they enjoyed about serving in the industry. And all of them, without exception, said the same thing. Hospitality is about how you make the guest feel warm, welcomed, cared for. And not surprising, but they loved it. They all said they love it because it's just who they are. They just love people. Every tiny detail was attended to, and I know I'm going to miss some things, but from accommodating my special requests for seating and food to taking my coat for me, and the dining area is arranged so that the bartender is essentially on stage. And never once did he glance up without a genuine, welcoming, friendly, playful smile. I watched him as he chopped the fresh rosemary, and I delighted in the scent, of course. And all the food that was delivered was exceptionally fresh. Everything was beautiful, bar beautiful. I was checked up on by 4 different people during my short stay there. And I can't even begin to do the design of this exquisite hotel justice in any description. I'll leave it to the pictures that I'll post and you visiting their website. But frankly, it's worth the trip downtown. It's subtle, gorgeous. They pride themselves on not one straight line in the hotel to reflect nature. All I can say is I am so glad I gave you a second chance. And let me repeat what each of the staff I spoke with said. Hospitality and outdoor hospitality, folks, you got to take some lessons from indoor hotel. Hospitality is about how you make the guest feel warm, welcomed, cared for, and they love the industry because it's who they are. They love people. So today is a late version of Expitality time. Expitality is the experience of hospitality. The experience of hospitality can be transformational. Welcome to Expitality time. These are casual conversations, insights, and hopefully some inspiration about the experience of hospitality. And it's important because the experience of hospitality transforms the world one hospitable experience at a time. I hope you have an absolutely lovely experience this weekend and lift someone else up. Be hospitable, be kind, and happy spring.